contains one of the most influential and ambitious generation theories of our time. These are the guys who coined the term millennial, by the way. They set forth and have continued to expand a theory that society follows a predictable cycle of moods, each lasting about 20 years, about how long it takes for everyone in a life stage to move on to the next. The social mood and the common life stage a coeval experiences it during are what distinguishes one generation from the next. Strauss and Howe call each social mood a turning. A turning describes the way society will act by either establishing, accepting, challenging, or fracturing in lieu of established customs. To illustrate the cycle, let's start just after the American Civil War in the so-called Gilded Age. Here, we find American society in the first turning, what they call a high. This is a 20-year period when society is largely in agreement about the direction it wants to go in, because it recently coalesced in the face of a crisis. Institutions are strong, and thus young adults are cautious and conformist. But then, people tire of social discipline and call for reform. A period of awakening occurs. The majority consensus is attacked in the name of greater and broader individual autonomy. The distrust in institutions left in the wake of an awakening leads to the next turning, an unraveling, where in place of broad cultural identity, moral crusades polarize society over what should come next. Finally, a renewed interest in consensus that responds to crisis by banding together occurs. Society's mood shifts to a belief that coalescing and building together are the answer. The cycle then starts again with a high. The majority agrees on society's directions and institutions, strengthened during the crisis, until people tire of this majority structure and an awakening leaves those institutions weak and armed with less public consensus. This is followed by an unraveling where individuals polarize over moral issues and the youth, raised in the previous two atomizing moods, feel alienated. Which brings us to, well, today. Strauss-Howe's theory, if true, tells us that this will be an era where society will band together and build institutions from the ground up in the face of crisis. It's not clear what that crisis will be, but if their theory has predictive power, the climax of that crisis will occur in 2025. The whole theory is a great way to learn about US history. Al Gore once even gave a copy of Generations to every member of Congress. But it is unscientific and unfalsifiable. You can find a pattern in anything if you pick and choose the right examples. As for the usefulness of its generalizations, well, Philip Bump points out that the US Census Bureau only recognizes one official distinguishable generation: baby boomers. Do you think you are Generation X? A millennial? Generation Z? Well, that's fine, he says. You can call yourself whatever you want. It's all made up. The baby boomers are a cohort, significant in that no matter where they were born or who they are, their size alone determines a lot about their path. But other population segments based solely on birth year just don't mean much. A more useful way to divide them into cohorts might focus on some other, less age-related trait that correlates better with behavior, wealth, region, sexuality, etc. Regardless of its accuracy, there's one thing generational theory and its critics do at least agree on. People change as they age, and the larger society surrounding people influences the degree to which generations feel conflict. So, generational thinking is a kind of guidance. It's one that helps take us on a journey manned by an ever-aging and changing crew. Some crews are different than others, for sure, and you need worry and concern to stay safe. But at the end of the day, it's still the same boat and the same waters. Generations and Juvenoia are like what Picasso said about art. They are lies that tell the truth. And as always, thanks for watching.
Thank you, Michael. Corpse Blue, shooting Putin. Oh, Karate's Riddle Wings, thank you. I'm back.